Jesus. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Writers Class.
Yes. This is Jade.
The disembodied voice.
Yes,
I don't understand why she always does.
Always what?
Disembodied voice.
Always do this. It's not always.
Okay, so I'm often that I am drinking a smoothie that I just made, and I'm calling it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I sincerely
haven't started off Friday early.
No. Anyway,
mini guys.
I will know no way. And the disembodied.
Yeah. And we wrote books, y'all. Literary life guides for pop poetry. And right. And I thought being grown up was easy. You get your audio books and www.andithoughtLadies.com.
I think that's everything I needed. About our wonderful guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I hope you can hear me very well because I could hear you with some interruptions since you went live, but I hope you can hear me. It's all okay? No interruptions?
Yes.
Okay, so, well, my name is Irina Webster and I live in Australia, but I have Russian background. This is why I speak with accent. So yes, I write books. By background, I am a medical doctor, but now I am a full-time author because I write books on very specific topics, such as, for example, how to heal using intuitive healing. So this is what I specialized in intuitive healing and medical intuition. It means how to heal yourself using your own intuition. So intuition, it's your internal voice, knowing something instinctively rather than logically. And this internal voice, intuition, is also connected to your health. So if you listen to your intuition tells you everything about how to heal, why you got sick, and what's wrong with your organs, and you can scan your organs for some problems which you don't know yet, but they're developing in the body, but you can feel them if you use your intuition. So this book I wrote, How to Heal Using Intuitive Healing, then the secret energy of your body. So the energy, I call it subtle body energy, the energy that run through your body. And if this energy is like run nicely, you are healthy. And if this energy is blocked anyway in the organs or body parts, you got symptoms and illnesses. So this is another book. Then I have color healing cards just for people to play with. It's like color healing cards. The energy of color and how energy of color influence your health, different organs, different tissue in the body, and how we can heal using the energy of colors. So I have another book, Cure Your Eating Disorder, because as a child I had an eating disorder, anorexia and bulimia, and how I healed myself using intuitive healing. So I have this book, and I have some other books. I actually don't have it with me, but I wrote about pregnancy, healthy pregnancy from A to Z, actually called, about how to use intuition, intuitive healing when you are pregnant, and how it affects the baby, and how a baby in you developing intuition and able to hear your intuitive messages. It's like how you communicate with your baby intuitively. So these my books, all about intuitive healing, energy, the subtle energy that runs through your body, and how to heal.
Okay, so I love that you were saying about, I love first of all that you defined intuition. And so during COVID, a lot of times people had problems that, and there was no medical research yet to say that this is actually the problem. So how do we explain what we know intuitively to our medical doctor
In a way that they would understand.
in a way that
take it
they'll
seriously.
understand, right? Thank you, Jade.
Yeah, the problem is that many conventional doctors, they may not quite familiar with this concept. And the fact that there is energy that affect your body, it is not in the medical terminology just yet. It is not like publicly, openly accepted that the energy affects the body, but it does, because I myself am a medical doctor. I worked as a conventional medical doctor for 14 years. It's just, I had to change my path because I healed myself using intuitive healing quite a few times. So this became my interest. But how can you explain a doctor? You can actually explain them exactly what your feelings are, your genuine feeling, because you feel intuition through feelings, sensations, and very often they are not logical. So the difficulty to explain your doctor, because very often what we feel is not logical. So if you still explain your doctor your inner feelings, the feelings that's so intimate, and you know that they are true. And if the doctor understands that, then it will be like intuitive connection. If there is no intuitive connection between you and a person, like a doctor, it's basically useless, because the other person needs to connect with you. And if they don't connect, this is a problem. So I teach people to choose their medical doctor intuitively. And it's possible to choose a medical doctor who is in tune with you. It's not necessarily with other people, but in tune with me, because we are all different. But what you need to choose is to who is connecting with you on intuitive level. And for this reason, you need to understand yourself intuitively also. Another problem is that if people not connected to their intuition, this is also will be a lack of connectivity, connection to yourself. So how can I explain anything what I feel and sense if I don't understand myself? But I can't. First of all, I need to understand myself and connect to my intuition, my energy. So be able to explain my doctor or a medical professional what exactly I feel. So the first step I would recommend how people can do that is to connect to your intuition. Start from you, and then use your intuition to choose a doctor who are in tune with you.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't connect if somebody is not connecting.
Yes, I sincerely agree. And this is really important, especially I think for us, I think we do have a larger US based audience. So it's kind of important for us because our medicine is a bit more rotative.
Yeah.
It's a bit more like a number and the symptoms, and it's for some doctors. So like being able to go in and pick a doctor that's going to listen and be intuitive to the fact that you actually have a problem, not dismiss you like, oh, this is psychosomatic and stuff like this. I was just recently, to get prepared for this interview, I was reading a study done by Dr. Ross, who actually has a PhD, and it was about psychoneuroimmunology and the endocrine and voltage potentials in cells. So
Yeah,
showing that because of the voltage potential and the way that we work on a cellular and molecular level, as well as in tissues, that we produce energies.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
they're thinking that these energies may be used in the future. As you were a practicing medical doctor, can you
yeah,
think of any way that this could be used in the future and could be incorporated into healthcare for patients?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I actually truly believe that it's where we are heading towards, that energy will be incorporated in the conventional medicine, but we go through a process right now. So how long will it take? Well, I don't know, but I assume it still will be probably a few years until the system change. So what we need to do now or wait to happen is to change the system, because the system itself, the system, it means university where doctors learn medicine, and just the whole government, university, the whole establishment, they are not connected to the energy, they're not connected to intuition. And this is the process we are going through at the moment to make the system change. But it's definitely in the future. Maybe in 10 years' time, if we talk again, it would be a different system, hopefully. And this is what the age of Aquarius is all about. Like, we talk a lot about the age of Aquarius, and Aquarian age, it's all about energy.
Yeah, I believe, like, just like the electricity gives energy, we all give energy.
So,
They were
so as you were going about being a medical doctor, and you said that you healed yourself, was that the moment that you recognized that this was going to be your calling and that you should probably switch careers and be an author?
That's right. My breakthrough, what made me change, was my illness. I got very sick when I was working at the Canberra hospital. Canberra is the capital of Australia. So I was working like a medical doctor, conventional medical doctor, and I got very sick. I developed a severe uterine bleeding. It was many years ago. I was 37 at the time. So I continued, like the bleeding continued like for weeks, then it's for months, until I lost so much blood that I started fainting. I was collapsing on the floor in hospital, and nurses had to drag me from the middle of the floor, put me on the patient bed, and make me awake because I collapsed a few times from the blood loss. So I went to my specialist, gynecologist, and he sent me for medical tests. And he found that I had fibroids. Fibroids are tumors in the uterus. It's not cancer, but it's a tumors. And they cause severe bleeding to the point that I was collapsing from blood loss. And he sent me to have surgery. He told me, I really remember how he told me. He said, Irina, you will bleed to death unless you have everything removed. So he gave me referral to go to have everything removed. And when he told me that, and I heard that, something quite extraordinary happened with me. When I heard that I will bleed to death unless I have everything removed, I heard a voice that came from the middle part of my body, somewhere from like energy centers are, like the spine, like around the spine, maybe somewhere really from the center of my body. And this voice told me, you'll be fine. Like that, you'll be fine. Don't go. And I decided to listen to this voice. So I took referral and I said, thank you so much to my doctor. I said, thank you so much. I will consider surgery, because when you hear your inner voice, so what I heard, this voice from the middle part of my body, it was my inner voice, my intuition. When you hear your genuine intuition, you don't feel like fight or being defensive. When people become defensive and start fighting, it's fear talking. It's the voices of fear. So they, no, you're right, you're wrong, I'm right, things like that. It's being defensiveness. Intuition is your friend and advisor. It always gives you information in a positive way to your higher good. So when you hear your intuition, you have so much trust and like calmness or certainty in an uncertain situation that you don't feel like fight or being defensive. So I took a referral and I went home. And when I came home, I had only one thought in my mind, that I need to experience a vibrational state. Vibrational state, it's as a state of consciousness when you feel the energy, when you feel vibrations inside your cell, tissue in your cell, and how this energy runs through your body. So you feel these vibrations. I call it vibrational state. You can call it timelessness. It's also called going into energetic field, leaving this dimension of time. This is dimension of time, and go into the energetic field, energy field. This is all the same things. I call it vibrational state, but it is like going into the energetic field. And then I totally become disconnected from this timeline. I went into the timelessness. So I was sitting in this meditation probably nearly 2 hours, but I didn't look at the watch, because if you look at the watch and think how long I've been meditating, you are not in the state. So when you're in the state, timelessness or vibrational state, you lose connection with time, so you don't look at the time at the watch. So I probably was meditating for 2 hours, but on the next morning, my bleeding reduced by probably 70 or 80%. I still had a little bit of bleeding left, so I continued the same meditation, like going into timelessness, for 3 days, because I was on sick leave. I didn't have to go to work. And after the 3rd day, so 3 days I did that. After the 3rd day, I had no bleeding. And this bleeding never come back. So I never had this problem come back. I was 37, now I'm 52, and the problem never come back. So I believe I totally healed myself during this meditation by connecting. So I didn't explain you properly because it takes a long time to explain what exactly I felt when I was in this state, because you go into your organ. So I actually was in this state. I went into my uterus. But yes, but this episode, after my self-healing, kind of who healed me, but intuitive, I call it intuitive healing power, because the power was in me. I just connected to it. So intuitive healing power healed me, and I became very interested in this power. So this is why I started learning. So I did a lot of studying from other famous people who become intuitive. And as a result, I realized that if I go back to being a conventional medical doctor and just giving people script, I would be giving them script or referral that I wouldn't accept myself. So it created an internal conflict in me. So how come I will give people script, but I will not take them? And this is why I started writing my books. I created courses. I run intuitive healing practitioner courses for people, different levels. So this is my story. My illness, my problems changed me. So this is why I always tell people, if you go through problems like health problems, but there is meaning in your illnesses, you need to just connect to this meaning intuitively. You understand what's the reason why you're having the illness. It will bring you to a change. You will have to change something in your life. You will change, and this illness guiding you where you need to go, what you need to change. And if you listen, you cooperate with the energy, you cooperate with the universe, and it will create changes for higher good. So this is what like I created changes for higher good. I changed my occupation, and which is much better for me. I have more satisfaction. I have creative outlet for myself. I feel much happier. I healthy. But an illness changed me. So illness is not an enemy. It's not your enemy. It's a message from your body. What you need to do in order to heal and get better for higher good.
Well, thank you so
So
much.
I
for
do
coming
have
on.
one more question before we go. You went from medical doctor to author. What do you have? What advice? What three pieces of advice do you have to give to anyone who wants to write a nonfiction book to help improve other people's lives?
Non-fiction.
Yes.
Well, first advice, it's always intuitively choose what you resonate with. So to choose the topic, you need to be intuitively resonate with the topic so you can continue with this topic for a long time. To be successful, you need to stay with the topic for a longer time. So for this reason, you need to choose it intuitively and listen to your, you can call it, listen to your guts, listen to your heart, whatever, but it's all means listen to your intuition.
Do you have any advice on writing style, like writing an entire book? Like,
Oh,
what kind of
yeah,
commitment does
yeah.
that take?
Automatic writing. It's what I teach people sometimes. It's called automatic writing. It's when you go into the state, like it's like a mental state, like timelessness, similar to what I described when I healed myself. You do lots of meditation and disconnect from this timeline, but focus on the topic that you need to write. And I think we are frozen. And write the stream of consciousness. I call it automatic writing, when you connect to the collective consciousness using subtle body energy.
Okay, we eat a soup with apparently uh the Zoom.
We got
So
disconnected.
connection. So
Yeah,
let's
we connect back. Yes,
where can people find your book? Where can people buy it?
okay, you can buy them on Amazon, but you can actually go to my website. It's www.dr, it's like for doctor, drinawebster.com. Or you can just choose Dr. Irina Webster. And
Okay.
yeah, this is my website. Otherwise, Amazon and most of the other places like Amazon, they have my book. We get a lot of interruption with connection.
Where can people buy that book one more time?
Okay, where people can buy my book.
Thank you so much. You can find out everything about your lady at www.andithoughladies.com. You can find out everything about your ladies at www.andithoughladies.com. And while you're there, go ahead and look at the 3 charities that we proudly support. And we ask that you support them as well. Definitely think about picking up Dr. Webster's book, and we'll talk to you later. Remember that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it.